Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Podcast, episode 120. What a crazy episode this is. We got Xbox news, but more importantly, we also got something with some guy with holding a fork news. I don't know. But Riley, how you doing? It's Wolverine.
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's a pretty fun week in gaming, honestly.
It's a wild week if you think about it.
It's been a good month for gaming.
That's true. Between the Forkman news and Pokemon Day and Resident Evil Requiem, the Xbox news, which is, maybe
probably not the best news,
but a little different, right?
Yeah,
so, a lot going on.
Good point. Yeah,
and then Radical is back apparently.
Oh my God! Yes. Right? Oh, what? If they make another Hulk Ultimate Destruction, I would cry. I would cry.
I am hoping against hope. So who published that? Was that THQ?
I believe that was back during the THQ era, or is it Activision? It might have been Activision.
Maybe
I think it was Activision.
It might have been. I think THQ was somewhere between. I can't even remember when THQ's era was for Marvel games, but I think that was Activision back because Activision did the movie tie-ins for Spider-Man and stuff. So I think back then they were just like the Marvel games guys. Yeah.
Obviously, Ultimate Alliance. I think they did as well.
Yeah. Wait, was that THQ or was that Activision? No, I think you're right. That was Activision as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad they're back. And
it makes me optimistic that maybe, their new website kind of implies that they're shepherds of IP.
Yeah.
Which to me would be like, bring on Simpsons Hit and Run. Like, give me a remaster of that.
Yeah.
Get on all the consoles. That's what I want.
There's all these rumors too. The prototype's coming back as well, based
on
that update in the credits or whatever for the game on PC or something, right? People found the Iron Galaxy was listed in the credits. So, yeah, this is that is for me one of the more exciting pieces of news that's come out of this week. Yeah, sorry to just hijack your intro there, Riley, but this is way more important than anything.
How dare you?
How dare you? A little bit, Caboose, how you doing? Riley, you just interrupt him now this time,
No, hey.
I wouldn't do that. I'm not an asshole, Marcel. I wouldn't do that.
Not a jerk?
No, I am, obviously. But I've been good. I've been good.
An asshole. I think you're kind of an asshole.
I've been doing good though, honestly. I'm sad that I missed the previous episode that we did because there was the state of play, which honestly, we all kind of guessed based on the length and the way that they were hyping it up. Oh, wait.
Oh, there's the crack.
That is one thing I will absolutely accept an interruption for. But yeah, we all kind of expected that it was going to be basically a showcase. And it was. I think they just didn't call it that, but it was.
It was the best showcase they ever did.
It was their best state of play, I think. Yeah, ending on the God of War remakes
was the Wolverine Spider-Man 2 back to back.
Yes. That was a big one. But yeah, having the God of War remakes, I'm so excited about that. And then we obviously got Sons of Sparta, and then since then it's just been kind of we had this really high. And now we've been humbled and realized, this is the games industry we're talking about. So there's some bad news, obviously, I think we're going to get into today. But overall, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to remain optimistic considering the circumstances.
Yeah. Steve, how about you?
Doing okay. Considering basically, the news that we had on Friday. And it was good. Basically, weekend was good because I got it was my dad's 70th birthday. So we spent it we had a surprise birthday party for him, but in that morning, my dad and I, we decided to go out and see the movies like we usually do. And we got to see Jurassic Park for the in theaters, which was
that's awesome.
Yeah, which was the first time I've seen it in theaters since I saw it when it first came out when I was a kid. So still holds up. Definitely in the movie theater. It's really great. So yeah. Trying to be able to play as many Steam Next Fest demos as much as I can.
Yes, definitely check out all the crazy games that are out there. I think it was until the 3rd, I believe, right, of March.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's talk about Wolverine. There's a lovely surprise. Here you go. 5 seconds. September 15th.
Boom.
Just that.
I did not expect that they were just going to drop the release date like that. That just doesn't really seem like
that seems odd,
MO.
right?
Yeah.
It seems like they know something is coming and they want to get ahead of everyone to claim that window for themselves.
Oh, do you think GTA? You think that something is coming in September or something?
I think that we're on the verge of having like dozens of games have to pick release dates.
Yeah.
And what they've done is beat a lot of people to the punch by being like, September 15th, that's us, that's Wolverine. So everyone's like, and now
I think that's
obviously
fair.
Grand Theft Auto is coming out in November, so they've laid claim to a chunk of time.
Because next to them is Crimson Desert. That's like on the 9th of September.
Oh, Crimson Desert. I thought that was like around the corner. Phantom Blade Zero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, to me, this also leads credence that like they're pretty sure that Grand Theft Auto 6 is hitting this year.
Yes, I think so too.
Like they know something.
Based on all these rumors and reports, it sounds like PlayStation's got marketing rights and they are very heavily involved in some capacity, at least with like pushing out content for GTA 6. And so they must have communication with Rockstar for them to say, hey, we're very confident that this is the date that we're going to land on. And honestly, I never even considered what you were saying there, Riley, that they're just planting the flag to get ahead of the wave of games that are coming out later this year that are all looking for a release window to steer clear of GTA 6.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Right? I also think too that this could be them trying to get ahead of the big news dump that they have promised for the spring of 2026.
Yep.
We know that there's something coming. I'm assuming at this point that it's sooner rather than later. Like I think we might even see something as early as like next month or even in a couple of weeks, dropping in March, just to get ahead of it and say like, here's our release date. Now we can just focus on showing you guys gameplay, giving you guys the deep dive on story. But I'm just glad they a random Tuesday.
There's no way this is like to clear up. Like, sorry about Blue Point. Here's this.
No, because I was just thinking about that because they were like, if they needed PlayStation needed a distraction, they had one this past Friday, so they didn't have to release the release
kind
date.
of grabbed the spotlight pretty quick from them.
Exactly, because it does. But the thing is, it's like it felt like this could have been an email. Like type announcement like of a release date because there was no extra gameplay. There was no even announcement of, hey, like state of play is coming, but we wanted to let you know that the release date is September 15th. And it's like there was nothing more to that. It was just, here's the release date. And that's it.
It'd have been like, hey, here's the release date. We'll see you in March, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, basically,
it
I
is
base
weird.
my superhero video games based on how long a Caboose video is going to be. And I almost expected that
they're always 8 minutes.
Like 30 seconds.
They're always 8 minutes. I'm sorry to say.
Pre-roll.
We hit 8 minutes no matter what.
All right.
But yeah, honestly, I will say I do find it weird that they put out this announcement. They gave us the release date and they didn't even give like even just a tiny new snippet of gameplay, a new screenshot.
There's nothing in the little transition that anyone analyzed the 15 seconds.
even if there is like a dedicated state of play coming out for Wolverine that's right around the corner, I'm very surprised that wasn't like accompanied by this announcement. You know, them saying release date in September, state of play, whatever in March. But I mean, then again, PlayStation does usually like to get their state of play announcements like maximum 48 hours before the actual state of play.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like
Hi, Camille.
Hi. But you know what? I think there's a good reason they didn't do that. And I think it's because, yes, Wolverine will be mentioned. I think, this is something I've been speculating before. Will be mentioned in the next state of play, but there'll be that dedicated state of play for Wolverine. Yeah. And they just wanted to get ahead of like, we want to release the release date on our own, so you get that quick little tease in the next state of play, and you're hooked for the Wolverine state of play. And it could also mean that maybe there's something bigger in that state of play that's going to be revealed.
Bigger like what?
maybe a new IP, like maybe a new game that's not necessarily from Insomniac, but instead, like in PlayStation, maybe they're announcing a title that we haven't seen before, which would be interesting.
I think probably the only big announcement they could do that I don't see them like doing, because if they were gonna do that, there would be an Insomniac state of play instead of just a Wolverine state of play. Yeah. But I agree, it would be great to do that. I think if in a Wolverine state of play, what would be bigger than a release date would be if all of a sudden there's going to be a multiplayer mode of Wolverine, something big like that.
So you're saying you think there would be an Insomniac dedicated state of play?
No. I was saying
I think it would be a Wolverine dedicated
Venom game.
But I think we
Spider-Man
will have that coming. I think that will be around that June time, Summer Game Fest time. I think we're going to have a dedicated Wolverine state of play, or a little bit after that. But I think we may get a state of play before then that's going to be teasing to something or announcing something that's going to be bigger news than Wolverine, and they don't want it to overshadow that release date.
It's tough because Insomniac themselves had promised that we would get more info for the game in the spring. So if they were essentially themselves teasing just a PlayStation state of play that would include more information for Wolverine, I feel like that would be weird for them to market personally. So wouldn't
it be weird to just announce, like you said, announce the date in that state of play? That is big news. You would want to tie into the reveal of maybe a bundle for the Wolverine game, right?
I do think them putting this release date out here just randomly does it's random. But Riley, I think, does have the best point in that it really does feel like this is just PlayStation saying, September 15th, you can't touch that release window now. And they've almost stayed claim to just all of September in a way, because GTA 6 is the juggernaut, right? It's the ultimate boss of video games right now that you all want to stay out of the way of. But Wolverine is also a pretty massive game, pretty massive title to want to steer clear of,
Yeah, I think it makes sense for them to get out.
I guess you don't know.
I see where you're coming from, potentially what could be coming up for Insomniac beyond just Wolverine, because they've had that precedent before where was it Summer Game Fest was when they announced both Spider-Man 2 details and also Wolverine, right? So it's
maybe a Venom.
Wait, from Summer Game Fest? Hold on,
I think it was some sort of state of play or something like that. So I just remember
the showcase from 2021 is the one that had the reveal for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine.
Okay, yeah. So whatever that was, I'm just saying that they've set the precedent that they have announced multiple Insomniac games in the same
or just big games. Those are two big games, so it may not be in an Insomniac studio. I don't know, I'm still on the grounds that there's something in this next state of play. We will see Wolverine, maybe an announcement of multiplayer, but I think there's going to be bigger news that people are going to be not necessarily bigger news, but other news that is also going to be big that the team doesn't want to take away from Wolverine, the release date, and then we'll also get a dedicated Wolverine state of play. But also, Caboose, what are you going to do in September? Because you also get that re-release of Endgame happening in September as well. So you're going to be
I can go to the movies. I'll just bring my portal. Come on.
There's going to be a Wolverine Insomniac cameo at the end of Endgame. It's going to be re-edited.
Give me that.
I'm just going to look at it like a sea of people watching the Endgame in the theaters. And then you just see a little light up screen of Caboose playing Wolverine in this portal.
Exciting times for such a 5-second reveal. So
sure.
Yeah, and it was so close to. It's what do you random?
At least it's pretty far away from what currently is the release date of GTA 6.
Potential release date.
Yeah, that's what I say. Potential. Yeah.
Could you imagine Rockstar being like, guys, it's coming out a month earlier?
No. One day before.
Oh my God!
Spider-Man or Wolverine. They're gonna drop.
This is right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No. They'll do it the day after because it's we'll give them 1 day. We'll give them one day.
Yeah.
Just $1 them. Do the day before 14th. There you go.
Yeah. Price right $1.
Yeah. I guess let's get to the main meal. Good old Xbox, shall we? So I don't even know where to begin with this.
It's like a symphony of sighs. I was like,
I don't even know where to begin with this.
Like I've had to re-explain what happened to multiple family members this past weekend, and I'm like, I'm out. Like I don't know anymore, man. Like,
well, do you want to re-explain it for listeners?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
as I explained to my whole entire family and even my extended family too.
Explain it to me like I was 5.
Okay, so Big Boss of Xbox decided he wanted to spend time with his kids and left.
Aww.
Allegedly,
but his best friend at Xbox decided I only want to play with my friend Phil, so I'm going to leave too. And then another kid came on the playground and decided to take over.
I like how Steve is struggling to say this as a 5-year, like explaining it to a 5-year-old. He's like, "Wait a second, what do 5 years old understand?" And then it's okay. You can explain it as adults. It's okay.
Retired, resign, and new CEO. So Big Boss Baby's now in charge. New Big Boss Baby's in charge of the sandbox, and they're keeping their toys and they're bringing it home.
So the new CEO. The new CEO of Xbox is Boss Baby, is what I'm hearing.
Sure,
pretty much,
I guess.
Okay.
I'm trying to give another term for CEO that was kid friendly. Big Boss. Big Boss.
Yeah.
So Phil's out. Phil retired to spend time with his family. Sarah Bond, who we thought was going to take over Phil's job, left the company. This is like 2 or 3 hours before it was announced. She did tweet or did post on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Xbox stuff. Like she had no idea this was coming. Allegedly,
Well, apparently this leaked as well, and then that's why they were.
It was not that. I think I heard it wasn't necessarily that it leaked. Like it didn't leak publicly, but IGN was going to run the story because they found out, and that they decided. That's why they decided because
Xbox just got ahead of it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on Monday, like this past Monday, that was when they were going to announce it. They didn't want to do it on a dump on a Friday.
Which would make sense because they also celebrated Phil's time at the company. Like, I feel like they would have actually celebrated that, like, around the original announcement rather than afterwards. But I'm just going to say, the new lead of Xbox doesn't have professional gaming experience that anyone knows of, and instead comes from an AI department with Microsoft
and Instacart.
And Instacart. So there's a lot of I guess nervousness around that. My thing is, I saw her tweet that they celebrated Phil today, and it was just kind of weird. Sarah's not even invited there. Sarah was not even invited there.
Sarah's not there today. I saw there's a video I saw from them celebrating, and Sarah's not there. And something that was supposed to happen today, you will think she will be there.
I mean, okay.
And I just want to say as well, her gamer account was made last month, and she didn't even play half the games. Someone else did.
Yeah.
And
wait, is that confirmed or?
That is confirmed. Yeah.
I'm so surprised that at Xbox they didn't think that the first thing people were going to do was look up the new CEO's gamer tag and see what games they played.
I think they probably,
and that's how everyone found out.
That's why they created it. But
like, how did they not think about the optics of that? Like,
I mean, I think their intent, and it was very clear in the social media strategy, was she's a gamer just like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that is how they let in.
Which you know what? Just
like you.
Which you know what? I don't want to take because we don't know her. Like, we don't know her at all. We don't know if she's gamed as a kid, if she had siblings that maybe she gamed casually with. We don't know her experience specifically in gaming, and I know like people are looking at her gaming tag and like crucifying her for her gaming experience, right? But I get it. Xbox brand, you think she would have like Xbox account and knowledge, but who knows? Maybe she had a really bad gamer tag that it was not brand friendly. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, or maybe she was gaming on competitors. Maybe she was gaming on the competitor, but like I think we do have to give her the benefit of the doubt. She's put in this role. It's not the first time we've seen a gaming company put someone in the role that maybe wasn't a core gamer. So I think what the bad taste is Xbox kind of trying to pass her and like make it a focus. Like she's like Phil. I think she's like a gamer, like core gamer.
I think that if you look at it as this isolated thing, like giving her the benefit of the doubt is absolutely something that's totally fair. Yeah. But when you look at the over-encompassing situation, where and Greg Miller, who doesn't often talk about stuff that he's heard, had said himself that he was passed along something that reiterated to him that Phil Spencer getting kicked off the CEO position and like everything that happened, all that news, it seemed as though it wasn't this planned thing. It seemed
not like how they said it was like he was thinking about it for a year.
Yeah, it was. They were blindsided. It sounds like, and it's just when you couple that with the fact that this new CEO comes from an AI background, couple that with the fact that people have found her gamer tag and it doesn't look like she, at least on Xbox, has had a ton of gaming experience. Like when you group all of that together, when you group all of that together, for me, then it creates this scenario where it's like that I'm dooming about Xbox. Like this is actually so bad.
My guess is that, and this has been my theory that I've been kind of thinking about for the past couple of days, in that I think this all comes down to Satya Nadella. Like, you're right. I 100% believe that this was an all of a sudden thing. In that he's like Satya is like, enough's enough. We see like the sentiment of Xbox has gone downhill. The profits aren't there. Sales ain't there. We need a reset right now. And who do I need to be able to bring in here? One of my trusted circle people within Microsoft, and that just happened to be Asha. And it was because Satya's all in on AI. Same with Asha, apparently. But even though, because I think that a lot of the PR statements that was made kind of seemed like smokescreen for what was actually going on, and that Satya wanted, like, basically he couldn't keep Phil like on a leash anymore. Couldn't keep Sarah on a leash anymore. And he's like, I need to put in somebody that I can trust and that I could be able to have on a leash, and that's Asha. And then Matt Booty is just there to be like, to give confidence to the studios within Xbox to be like, well, at least there's somebody that knows what's going on at the helm of something, and being the right-hand person for Asha. But essentially, my theory is that this is an entirely Satya, like, Nadella run Xbox with Matt Booty basically trying to keep the gamers and the studios at bay, to try to be able to appease something. And again, my guess is that reason why Sarah left was because either she was fired or she just resigned. I figured Phil
she was probably fired.
Yeah, that's what I figured too. Phil retiring was probably better than the optics and being fired, because at least Phil could be able to get his severance and all his stuff that he's been dedicated. He's probably got like a huge amount of severance. He's been there since 2008 or something like that as an intern, so he's built up that interest. But
Steve, if they made this shift, they don't care about Phil's severance. They care about what the company looks like.
No, but
that's where that move comes from, right?
Yeah,
like they want it to look like
worse optics if
Phil
they
is going on his own. Exactly. Yes, worse optics if they fired.
They need him to play nice right now.
Exactly.
Which is why they're like, come on Monday and say your goodbyes.
Yeah, you're gonna be there for like a little few.
By the way, here's a box for your desk. Just clear it out and get everything
transition. Blah 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 blah.
But my thing is, there's these rumors going around. Again, we don't really know what happened, and I hope we do one day find out exactly what was the conversations
Netflix
behind these doors.
Yes,
please. I mean, there's so much. They buy all these studios,
then they badmouth themselves too, so they can do another one.
I mean, there's rumors out there that this is an Xbox campaign was kind of a part of the decision of why of why Sarah was not chosen to continue into Phil's role, and that it was
the Verge article. Like, people didn't think, Sarah was like, if you don't see my vision, then you're out type of attitude she was giving, apparently.
But they say she also, but they said she's also would, take responsibility for the team, like be really responsible. So there's like a few things. Apparently this is from other employees that had these heard about these communications happening. And my thing is, I think Sarah was kind of thrown under the bus. Like I think she was put in a situation where she wasn't meant to be successful. Like there was already such a downturn for Xbox at that point, and this is an Xbox campaign. It was happening before Sarah was even there. So, she had to, I would guess, work with what was laid in front of her, and probably was, put in that situation because Microsoft was like, hey, look, we need someone who is not like that core original Xbox team that's going to come in and going to strain out things and maybe take the fall one day if things don't work out, because Phil's like pretty much like God level in the gaming industry. And they put Sarah in that position, and it's just unfortunate because I think if Xbox even wasn't the most successful, at their peak, but was still doing okay, she would have had more time, I think, to really show what she could have delivered. And unfortunately, she wasn't.
I totally agree with like them using her as the scapegoat, because I can't imagine them being like, okay, here's the campaign, and then she's like, hey, we're doing this, too bad for you, Phil, and all the other VPs, and like you're telling me if it's not,
that has to approve this.
Like if it's not working,
they're going, I'm doing this.
Like if it's not working, I can't imagine them being like, hey, Sarah, it's not working, we gotta stop this. Like, no, there has to be like a vote, a whole like committee has to agree this is the direction we're going, which is what they've been doing.
Because
way before Game Pass was even a Game Pass thing, they had Play Anywhere with like games like Recore,
when cloud,
copies on PC, and
they 100% set her, like, even if you want to say like, okay, she was in charge of this is an Xbox marketing campaign, the way that Verge article made it seem as if like it was her brainchild. If you gotta think about it, like she was only put in charge of the marketing team when Jarrett West left, and I actually just looked up the dates now. He left apparently in June of 2024. Guess when the This Is an Xbox ad started? November 14th, 2024. So she literally had taken over from like and had like 5 months to basically to put something together, and so this was 100%, as you said, this was already in the works. So basically here's the thing. I trust Tom Warren. He's always been a great journalist like I've always trusted his reporting. But it just, and I can maybe understand that, some maybe disgruntled employees or just even some current employees are just never been really fans of Sarah being in that position, or just fans of how she basically conducts her business. But to me, it just sounds like that like reading that like the face value, like everyone is like, well, not everyone, but how I took it was, they totally threw her on the bus with like misleading information.
And the thing is, too, with Sarah, like, even when Sarah came in, we were already having conversations amongst ourselves of, like, what is Xbox doing? Like, where's their next focus? Like, we don't quite understand what all this buying studios would lead to down the road, because it just seems like they're just pulling at strings, hoping to get a win, but they don't actually have anything planned out ahead, right? So for when Sarah came on board, I liked her. I met her. She's really nice. I think we've all might have met her.
She's super kind.
She's very kind, super nice. Obviously, we have not worked with her, so we don't know how she is in a working environment.
Right.
But honestly, I never got the sense that she was like a stern, like steering the ship type of person. Like, it always felt like she was getting directions from Microsoft and kind of having to work with that with Phil. And I could see how that could cause clashes for someone like Phil, who's been there since the start and really is the brainchild of how the Xbox brand looks. So I don't understand this narrative of like, it is Sarah's fault.
Yeah.
When really it's like I think this is Microsoft's fault. Like this is Microsoft, and this is multiple failures on Xbox.
Because this is also a failure on Phil too. Like regardless of Phil has been we can spend all day like giving accolades to Phil. Like he definitely was one of the greatest gaming CEOs that we've had. Not the best, but because he's made mistakes, but he was willing to admit those mistakes. But I think that like Sarah wasn't just necessarily like taking like a thing and running with it without Phil's approval. And yes, maybe Phil kind of had some like potentially may have had been like some reservations of this is not kind of where we're going, but he still signed off on it anyway. So he's just as culpable as like Sarah just kind of ran with it. If that's the case, that basically that it was her idea, but I don't think so. The way the timelines, they just don't line up. So it just seemed like, again, like I said, Tom Warren, I trust his reporting, but it just seemed like that whole article was just painting her as the scapegoat.
Yeah, it felt to me like a little PR. That it felt a little.
Do you think
PR-y
that they've done that, Riley? Do you think that they're trying to plant some stories out there?
Yeah,
maybe not necessarily purposefully from Satya, but I can see that other people from like who just didn't like her could be like talking to Tom and be like, "Hey, do you know what she did? Like here's what she did."
Here's what I'm.
He's not even there today. Like, why is she not in there? This is from Asha.
Oh yeah, she's not.
She's not.
Because she resigned as of Friday. Like she doesn't need to be there.
She would be invited as someone who worked with Phil. They probably invited old coworkers of Phil to celebrate Phil.
Yeah.
Like
Styles retired. They brought people from TNA who's not even part of WWE.
I think this was very much like they're not going to invite your old comrades to this. Like it's a very much like, hey everyone, don't worry.
Really?
Don't leave the ship.
That was supposed to happen today.
If it was supposed to happen today, I think the whole thing with if this was supposed to happen really quickly, as we're sort of speculating, and that if it did go off, that it was supposed to be announced like this morning, Phil was stepping down, retiring, and this whole event was planned that Asha was going to be taken over. We get to know a bit of Asha as employees. I think the thing that sort of stands out as weird is the whole Sarah of it all. I think Sarah did not know anything about this and was like, "Fuck this, I'm out," and basically resigned as of Friday, and that's it.
I don't think she said that. I think she was like, "What? I'm out." I think it was more of that.
She was posting
out. It's more like "fuck, I'm out."
Like the question mark.
She was
of it all.
posting on LinkedIn 2 hours before it was officially announced.
Hold on about that. I think. Again, this is why I think this took Sarah by surprise, because she probably did not plan to resign. She probably did not plan to leave.
Definitely not.
But and that post that she made 3 hours earlier, that's coming from someone that didn't think that they were going to not have a job by the end of the day. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think that she got fired, because they would have said she got let go. Instead, they said that she resigned. It was either they gave her an ultimatum that it was like,
I think that's just kind of PR.
It's just like it's just like a you get out, we don't say that.
My guess is that because she probably found out that she's not. My thinking is that, again, when she found out she's not taking over,
and then and then we'll say that you step down, and then
it could be that.
You think so? Hold on. So you're saying you think that once she realized that it wasn't her who was going to be the successor, essentially she was like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah.
I
see that.
I don't think so.
I don't think that is impossible, but I don't think that's what happened.
I think what could have happened, and I've seen with a lot of companies do this before, they're like, hey, we are shifting how Xbox is going to be run. We're making shifts with the higher ups. We don't see you in that position anymore. We obviously don't want to let you go, but we could give you an opportunity to, so you
just go out with dignity.
Go out with dignity.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she's because then it doesn't, for someone who, even like companies that aren't publicly known, they do this. Like I used to work at a bank. They used to do this all the time, just so then they could get people who they've put in positions similar to Sarah to be a successor. It didn't work out. They don't want to admit that they made a mistake. They're like, they offer the person either like to go out on their own and resign, and they give them the severance package, everything. it just looks good on paper.
That puts more into what I'm saying. Like, I think she was like, she got that message and was like, hey, fuck it, I'm out. Like, it just like. But
I've also seen where they just fire her and be like, we'll say you resigned.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think if her reaction was something that was malicious, the way that you're saying there, Steve, we would have seen this displayed a little differently in the public eye, because like business, they don't really play around with this sort of thing, right? If somebody's going to be like, fuck you, I'm leaving, then I honestly think that we would see a bit of a I
see that as like PR would just use that to save face, being like, okay, we don't want to say that Sarah got fired, so we'll say she quit, and which is exactly like or resigned or like that's PR
fair.
speak. Like, so to me, I think, and again, it kind of shows the fact that like she did not know that this was going to happen.
I think that's the main point at the end of the day.
That's why it took several hours for her to even have a statement. And also the fact that as well, like she was not included in any of the letters or any of the messages from both Asha, both Phil, and even like Phil's.
So that I think that at the end of the day,
Phil, Phil was the only one who had it, but Asha didn't.
I feel like she was like Phil. This is almost like a battle here. Like Asha's like Satya's girl, and then Phil, like Sarah's like Phil's girl, like type of thing. And you're like, all right, Phil, your girl ain't working. My girl's going in next, man. And if we'll let you go, and your girl's out.
When the head of these things is done, the whole C-suite usually gets shifted.
Then why is Matt Booty still there? He's been a big part. If you think about the Xbox Big Three, it's Phil, Sarah, and Matt.
Right now, how bad would it look if
he
was gone?
Yeah, and also who knows if he's not going to leave later on this year?
I think that's Activision Blizzard, right?
Exactly.
Like we saw execs kind of slowly.
It trickled down.
Sure, but
because
it's like
they didn't want to
ruin what you're saying. It's like we need a clean sweep. Then they would have gotten rid of Matt now.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I was just going to say, I have a question. How, and you can answer after Caboose asks this question, but
no, go ahead.
My question was, how much notice do you think Phil knew? Because Phil obviously had to know for them to put in the position like he's retiring. We're creating comms behind this moment for Phil because he is the superstar of Xbox.
Yeah.
How much notice do you think he got for that? Because Sarah didn't get any.
I certainly don't think he got as little short notice as Sarah did, but I do think that a lot of this was like a very, very quick turnaround.
Well, I mean, we may not know necessarily how long Phil knew, but I mean, as you said, Marcel, like if the fact that Asha's gamer tag account was created a month ago,
so maybe about a month,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure they could also pick a start date for that. Like they have all the back end for that. They could just build it.
Maybe not.
Well, then they weren't smart to pick a start.
Exactly. If they had the back end to create some magic and fake an account's history, then they should have done a better job with it.
Right. I mean, when you get into that side, like she might have known a month ago that this was happening, and then they told Phil maybe a day before. They're like, Phil, we're gonna be done with it. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna sign that NDA.
I'm just worried.
You're gonna retire, and then we're gonna roll in your successor.
I'm just worried about what this means for the future of the Xbox brand. Now, Asha replied to a tweet that made it insinuate, like someone was saying essentially to her, like, you guys got to get back to exclusives. That's what makes the Xbox important, or blah blah blah. And she kind of like replied to it saying, like, we hear you.
Yeah.
There's no way. They're so knees deep in like play Xbox anywhere.
Yeah,
there's no closing
way.
Studios that they bought not too long.
But what I'm so worried about is every time we see such a shift like this happen in the industry, it always leads to some form of mass layoffs. Like at some point, that the amount of money that's been lost or is spent, it trickles down to the little guys, and they get rid of studios, or they get rid of the lower level employees. And I feel like that's going to be very damaging, especially for a company that's had so many layoffs already. And then as well, like what it could mean for just the future of the Xbox brand. I am genuinely worried. Like we've been speculating and talking a little bit about how the writing is looking like it's on the wall. We're trying to not see it, but the writing is on the wall. For as many good things as there is a lot to be worried about for Xbox. And I feel like putting somebody in the position of CEO who comes from a background of AI, it really does sound like they're they're putting in one nail into this coffin right now.
So for you, yeah, and I absolutely agree, right? Xbox. Yeah, and that's what I think. It's like, as we know what Xbox is, like, I think there's going to be a real shift in definition of like, what is Xbox? I don't think we will hear the question is this is like, what is an Xbox? Because we won't know what an Xbox is. They probably won't be around. I think the hardware is going to be one of the things that unfortunately does take a huge pause for a while. And I think, this is probably.
I was about to say, I think. Sorry, continue, Camille. I apologize.
So I think, like, hardware is probably what we're going to see a pause to for a while. I mean, anything that we known was coming out before was on its way. I think we have to really shift our expectations and not hold our breath, because with a decision even like this and what we've seen even Xbox do in the past, things shift so quickly at Xbox because I really don't think they know or had a good idea of like how they were steering the ship, unfortunately, for success. So for what this means for Xbox in the future, yes, Caboose, like, I think it's going to mean layoffs. I think we're going to see unfortunately, I think we're going to see a pause in hardware. And I really do think Microsoft may be looking at how, on games that utilize AI that are still really successful, a lot of like the Asia, like China made games, they do really well, like, and they use AI within, their programming, and their user base don't really bat an eye, because they like the gameplay and they like the art style. So this is really scary for the industry, because it's like,
I think probably my guess of what happened is I think they, like, when they're saying they're gonna like return to what Xbox was, I'm guessing that they're probably gonna like double down on the consoles again. Like, they're gonna bring back, but I think the exclusivity conversation, that unfortunately you can't put that genie back in the bottle. And
do you think they'll do that?
But I think I don't think that they.
Do you think they'll do that even if they haven't been making their money on hardware to sell software?
Right, but here's kind of where I'm thinking of. They're going to go focus in on consoles. They're going to bring the exclusivity of Xbox titles and everything being multi-platform. I think it's too late to be able to kind of take that back, but we might see the exclusivity windows come back again, where it's exclusive to Xbox for X years or whatever.
We have a window of exclusivity.
We have a window of exclusivity on Game Pass. It's doing all that stuff, and then because it's not just Xbox sort of talking multi-platform. Everybody's talking multi-platform. Sony's already doing that with PC and including Switch with some of their titles, and Nintendo is like, even though Nintendo's not really doing that, but a lot of studios are considering multi-platform as the current solution to how the video game industry is right now. It's not just an Xbox problem. But
you mentioned Game Pass, though. Do you think Game Pass is going to be something that we all wonder how they're making money off Game Pass? Studios have complained about not getting Game Pass not really being a good thing for them. Do you think we still see a double down on Game Pass, or
I don't think necessarily a double down. I think we will still have Game Pass, because they have like they have a pretty decent audience in order to be able to keep Game Pass going. I think we'll stop seeing, say, Call of Duty being exclusive or being a release on Game Pass day one. I think some of the bigger titles will probably be
like the next
like
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. I can also even see that
bring WoW to Game Pass.
That's what I was about to say. I think that, like, I would love to see, and I think they probably would, is bringing the WoW pass into Game Pass. Same with like Elder Scrolls, that being there, Fallout 76, like having those subscription services they already have being folded into Game Pass to help kind of compensate for that extra price hike that they've been doing. So I don't think
they care about compensating for the price.
No, they're not. You're right. But it's like,
I think it may take a backseat. I can see them
using that. I can see them using that as like a PR message, right? So, that's right. But again, going back to the hardware, I think that they're now going to double down on, we need to get some hardware out. Whether it comes out next year, I don't know, as they had originally planned. But I think that they're not going to be like sort of blasé about, okay, well, and we also are going to release hardware. We're like, no, Xbox is a core hardware console brand. We're going to build out a console for this, and we're going to create a good console experience. That's what I see and think when they say return to Xbox. I think the push on anything's an Xbox is basically done. Like yes, we'll still get the ability to be able to play games on our phones and on our laptops. It's still going to be part of it, the Xbox Play Anywhere. But I think that we're going to start to see some taking back and basically like, okay, we're walking back a few of these things to kind of at least that the gamers are complaining about currently with Xbox to try to save face. Whether that's going to stay or happen, I still think layoffs are going to happen, as you said, regardless. It's like it sucks, and I think we're going to see it's going to get worse before it's going to get better. But that's
how long have we been saying that though?
Yeah, I know, and I got to agree with you, Camille. Like we have been constantly being like, guys, don't worry, we're turning the corner, you know, and it just feels like back. And it just feels like at every turn, it's like, oh, Halo's coming to PlayStation now
because Phil and Sarah are gone.
It's different. You have the core
bad part. That's what's bad. I think that's
saying this forever, but I think yes, and it does add to the fact that it is bad. But we're like, if we've been hearing that from Phil and Sarah for so long that I think hearing it from a new person again. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Asha could basically like turn it all around. We don't know. She's day what? By the time this podcast goes, day 3 on the job. So. Yeah. We don't know.
So
sorry, 1 second, Camille. I also think that whatever plans are already in line, like that's just like the next Halo. If they already made an agreement, like they can't go back on that. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Halo, they've also said like the future of Halo is on PlayStation.
Yeah,
they very directly.
But that's the thing.
You need to walk that back, but like the damage is.
But you can't. Yeah. I don't think you can walk. Like I don't think it would be smart business wise for them to walk that back because they also got the buy-in from PlayStation. You don't.
They can.
You don't. But no, they already got They said the future of Halo is on. PlayStation.
No, that's we're all saying the same thing. I'm just saying,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like they can't. There's no way walking that back, and that's what I was going to ask Steve and Marcel. Like, I'm curious for you as well. Like to Steve's point, Steve's like, Asha may redirect it. We don't know what she's capable of, but isn't it scary that you have like the core gamer Phil Spencer, who you thought would be speaking really for the gamers on Xbox? I don't see any other person on that Xbox team that I would trust to speak for the consumer.
No.
And that's
Matt maybe,
and that's why I don't think
But even Matt is like not
Xbox is being the Xbox we know. I think the future of Xbox is like you have Xbox software on other things.
Everything.
We're just going to market it differently. Yeah. But it's going to be the same way we were steering the ship as, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. We're just not going to say this is an Xbox.
Yeah, because they saw the sales numbers for Forza on PlayStation, and they saw that like, oh, we can actually be able to make a profit basically being on multi-platform. And I think that's why they're going for Halo, Gears, every kind of like main sort of first-party game or franchise. And IP is going to go multi-platform. So that's why I said that you can't put that genie back in the bottle anymore.
If people were expecting exclusives to come because she's in charge, it's not happening.
It's not. I could see the return of exclusivity Windows, but that's like a potential.
Not anytime soon, though. Like all these things are already planned out.
No, I think for future stuff, right? So like I think the stuff that's already announced
2 and 3 years now.
This is like I see stuff that's already announced, they've already got it. Yeah.
But Steve, with hardware, you actually, because if we have Asha really coming as the Microsoft the Microsoft like voice, right? And really being puppeted maybe by Microsoft. Maybe it is the hardware is going to be a PC Xbox hybrid, and they're really trying to push that ahead of what Steam is doing.
Yeah, because they can still get the user base of Windows, which is like a core Microsoft product. They can get the potential like the Copilot stuff in there, which is right now a core Microsoft product. Like they can have that hybrid PC element that Microsoft is pushing on the PC side, but they probably Microsoft saw it's like, Xbox used to be this big brand, and it was all about the console. It's all like PlayStation's all about the console. Why can't we be all about the console? So I think the plans of the hybrid PC console is still probably going to happen. Whether or not when it comes out, whether it's next year or the year after, based on, obviously RAM shortages and stuff like that, that remains to be seen. But I could definitely see that Microsoft will try to be able to push back, being like, okay, not everything's an Xbox anymore. We need to sell hardware. We need to sell software for that hardware. So make the box. Make the box a priority.
I just think it's just too late. It's just too late.
Like
this, if we were a few years back, like maybe there would be a way to climb out of this hole.
Era, maybe,
but you got Halo. You got Halo coming to PlayStation now. Like
I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm saying that's what I think the corporate Microsoft is thinking. It's like, well, maybe they
put Xbox stuff more on Microsoft.
Again, this goes back to what I'm trying to say, right? Or what you were trying to say as well, Camille, about how the writing, we just kept hoping that things would get better. Because back when we had the announcement of what was it, Sea of Thieves, and like just a small collections of games that were coming to PlayStation.
Only 4 games.
It was only 4.
It was only 4.
There was a huge uproar, and it was Phil, and I think it was Sarah, and it was all these people at Xbox.
It was Matt.
Who were like, guys, don't worry, we're only testing the waters. It's not. We're not going to.
And that was a business decision.
And now you've got Gears coming to PlayStation. Yeah. Now you've got Halo coming to PlayStation. We are at a point now where Xbox has fully conceded this console war, if there ever was one.
I think, and you know what, Steve, to your point, Steve, it's a you said a business decision, right? Like it is absolutely a business decision. They see the money on the wall when they had Sea of Thieves go on to PlayStation, Halo
Forza
on
Horizon was
Forza was the one. Yeah, Forza, right? And I don't think Phil would have been like, well, we're going to put more games on PlayStation. That was coming from Microsoft. Well, this is making us money. So now you have someone who's potentially being puppeted by Microsoft's core team. That is going to be pushed tenfold.
Yeah, I think that it probably was like Phil for the past couple of years has been really trying to push back on Microsoft. Like, I think the unfortunate was once the Activision Blizzard deal went through, it was like Microsoft finally was like, okay, we need to look at Xbox with a microscope right now. And I think Phil was trying to push back the Microsoft of it all because he knew that it was not necessarily great for gamers. But there are certain things that had to be pushed that he had to concede on. And that's why we've had the confusing Xbox that we've had the past couple of years. And now, and basically they got to the point where they were like, we don't want to deal with you anymore. So we're going to have you force retire. And now we're taking over so that because we can't keep arguing over it. Like, I think Phil was the dam that was keeping Microsoft at bay. And now that dam is gone.
But
and that's bad.
But he also
100% bad.
He also messed up. Like, I think buying all those studios was definitely a Phil move.
Oh, of course he messed up. He bought Bethesda, he bought Activision Blizzard, and they didn't decide to make anything exclusive to Xbox. They were like, we're just going to spend $160 billion so that everyone can keep playing the games as they were before.
But you know what? I think his thing was they already had deals with other consoles.
That was pretty. That's a big deal, man. That was
okay. I think they had deals when he bought those companies. They had deals to have their games released on other consoles, and he couldn't buy the companies and say, no, that ain't happening. I think a part of the buy, he had to make that happen, and he was looking more long-term. But the thing is, he was already out of time. Like, he didn't realize how much time he was out. I think
that deal took way too long.
I think it took longer than they wanted to.
And he was like, we're going to be bigger and better in the next 10 years. And Microsoft's like, you have like 2 years. 3 years. You don't
Yeah, Phil, about the 10-year plan you got there.
You got like 2. Before we have to, come in and clean your mess.
I'm honestly just, I don't know. I really do think, I mean, we said it, right? That the Xbox as we knew it, or as it was once known, is dead. I think that we was already kind of set in stone on that a few years back at this point.
Things are already shifting.
We've already kind of gotten to that acceptance part of our grieving for the loss of Xbox. But I do think that this shift, for as much as I wish I could remain optimistic about it and hope that Asha is the one typing those words when she says, "I hear you." When people are saying,
But now
"We want
she
Xbox
is.
exclusives," are back.
That's
Now
being
she is.
pulled out.
Now she is.
Yeah.
For as much as I would hope to be optimistic that she is listening, and that the people at Xbox to the top of the food chain are listening to the people who are playing these games, I think at the end of the day, they've already done the damage to the brand. They've already done the damage to the idea of selling that hardware, and I think they've conceded this console war, and so they're now just going to be like, well, how do we just be part of the other ecosystem?
How do we just make the most money we can?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what do you guys think this means for like the other big players in the industry? Like, because unfortunately I do see more studio closures on the Xbox side. Do we see PlayStation let's buy that studio, that studio, that studio?
No, I think we're in a weird time of financial uncertainty.
Sure.
Yes.
Don't know how the markets are going to go. I think right now you just stay still. If you're not sure, just don't move.
That'd be the smart move, but like,
unfortunately, I think see some acquisitions where they make sense, but I think we'll mostly see them from Nintendo. To be honest,
Nintendo's the one with the money to spend at this point,
and they want more studios right now.
They don't really let go much of anything, right? Like they don't fire.
It's like those studios want Nintendo to buy them. Like that's their safest bet right now.
It's weird because it's been so consistent since the very beginning that Nintendo's always been just the whatever they touch turns to gold, and that has still never changed. Even in the face of everyone's like, what you called it, the Switch 2? What's innovative about it?
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
They stopped
even still,
chasing.
even in the face of like Mario Kart World doesn't really do anything crazy. Like there isn't too much content at launch. It still sells like hotcakes. Like people
15 million copies. Like there's like
crazy.
The fact that Expedition 33, the most awarded game of last year, still was like when they celebrated when they made 3 million. They sold 3 million copies in 30 days. Like Nintendo's like, hold my beer. I think the thing I'm worried about is essentially that like Xbox, if Xbox is gone and it's going to be basically either a third party publisher or it's going to be split up into its own like in all the studios and it's going to be over. I think the thing that I don't like is that it just means there's less competition, and it just means that say like a PlayStation, it's going to become stagnant. They were like, we're fine. We don't need to worry about anything else. We're not competing against Nintendo. Who's competing against Nintendo? They're the only ones.
That right there is exactly what has been the biggest problem with this console generation for the PS5. I'm not saying that it's been like stinkers, right? Like I thought Spider-Man 2 was great. I think Ghost of Yote was fantastic. There's been tons of amazing PS5 games that have come out in the last couple of years, certainly. But we've seen Bluepoint get shut down, and they were apparently this studio that's known for making single-player remakes were put on a God of War live service project that they just wasted 6 years on. You know what I mean? It's just like
some top-down poor decision making.
This is what happens on service games. And but this is what happens when there's no competition. When PlayStation's just like, guys, what do we even have to worry about? Let's just fuck around and try something. You know what I mean?
This is bringing games to us.
Hey guys, let's just make Concord. Screw it, right? Like let's just try this out. And it's like,
dude, I cancel it after 2 weeks. Like it's just.
The reason why that PS4 console generation was so insanely good is because PlayStation was trying to battle back after the 360 PS3 era. And so after the Xbox One era, when PlayStation just completely annihilated Xbox, then they realized we can just have fun, do what the hell ever. And now they're almost in a similar position that Xbox was going from the 360 to the Xbox One, where they're starting to make a lot of mistakes. You know, they've granted it's not been a full screw up the way that the Xbox One was, but that lack of competition has put them in such a bad position. And I totally agree with you, Steve. You need that competition to create this like, guys, we need to take risks. It's the only way that we can find some form of success.
Yeah, and I think everything's kind of shifting drastically. And even if Xbox makes some niche hardware, maybe it doesn't go anywhere. They become entirely software focused and AI tool focused, which I think is probably the likely direction for them. We have Valve coming out with a console, and if that is going to be something, so like there's an opportunity for new people to kind of push their way in and drive innovation in different ways. whether it's through multiple storefronts or unique hardware or cheaper hardware. I think we're in an interesting transition phase for the industry. And I think the next 5 years are going to be really cool.
Well, we got to think too, like this is kind of when the sort of people talk about like this is like the worst generation that we've had. I kind of am leaning towards that potentially might be it. I mean, just with everything that went on with shortages, COVID, changing marketplace, like the marketplace maturing, like stuff like that. It's so not necessarily like any particular studio or company's fault, but it's just the way the marketplace has kind of gone. But also I think that as you're right, like with the Steam machines, it's probably Valve is the only company that could compete. And also too, like really in essence, like how big of an upgrade really was the PS4 to the PS5, or at least the PS4 Pro to the PS5, and also the Xbox One to the Xbox Series X. Like we're used to a console, like every console generation basically like revolutionizing the way we play games, like whether it's through graphics upgrades or just bigger open worlds, bigger games, bigger and better. Like that's what they've always kind of promoted with each console upgrade. And this is the first time we've ever had a console that just like, it looks a little bit better than the PS4 Pro. Yeah, it looks a little bit better than the Xbox One, but it's okay. Yeah, it's faster. Like the machine's faster. Great, awesome.
Right, you get 60 FPS now.
60 FPS.
If the era on those consoles, we wouldn't be thinking about new consoles right now.
And I think
that the only reason why they're thinking
we're in the iPhone era of hardware for gaming.
Exactly.
I think, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. I think we're not revolutionizing the gaming industry. We're evolutionizing the gaming industry.
We don't need to. I mean, like the biggest thing right now is maintaining your digital library. That's what keeps people hooked into these
which is what
right?
Phil had said. That's why the Xbox lost, because that was the worst generation to lose, because it was when people were dedicating to their digital library.
Don Matrick did them no favors.
Right.
That really, they just never recovered from that. And I think we're at another transition phase for them where it's like, we know your games are coming to their hardware. Like your hardware is not gonna move the way that you want it to.
But I think that like as we kind of keep going, I think with something like when we have like a Steam machine, I think the Steam machine has the potential to basically be the bigger or the biggest kind of like comeback of console gamers.
I think that's the biggest threat to PlayStation
depending
and Nintendo.
On price. Yeah,
depending on price, of course. So like it has to be like equivalent to the cost of a console currently, and that's just with the market as it is. But I think that PC gaming has basically kind of taken over the industry. The fact that indie games are like when was the last time you seen a trailer for an indie game that didn't have wish list on Steam at the end of it? Like it's taken over the entire industry in a good way and potentially a bad way too. But I think that as consoles are now basically the equivalent of PCs anyway, I actually thought that the Xbox hybrid PC console was a good way to go, because it looked as if that's where the industry was going. I think the idea of the console generation,
I think for as much as there is absolutely a market for a ton of people who play games on PC, which is part of the reason why PlayStation has pivoted in that direction, right? There's no way that PlayStation would want to release Spider-Man on PC if it weren't for the fact that they saw an audience or at least a revenue stream.
That was going to be what I was saying. Like PlayStation wouldn't change that, because that is what they see as like they see the numbers of a Spider-Man.
Exactly. They see the player base that's there, and they see that there's good revenue that they can bring in from releasing these games on PC for sure. Yeah.
So I could see them being like, there's no competition, but with something like a Steam machine or a hybrid PC console,
I still think that for as much as a Steam machine could make an interesting dent in the games industry and could create for a new landscape, I still do think that at the end of the day, the average consumer on Christmas, like holiday weekend, who's trying to get their Christmas present for their kid, they're going to see a PlayStation. They're going to buy a PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a trusted brand at this point.
Until they can get like Steam machines in, say, like Walmart or Best Buy.
But
like,
even then,
can see that then.
Even then, it's still so brand new.
.ca.
Go now.
It's still so new that it isn't going to be something that like your grandma is like, oh, the Steam machine. You know what I mean? Like the average consumer isn't just going to be as aware.
Yeah, most gamers. You know what? I was actually out and about and talking to strangers. At an event. I know, stranger danger. But no, I was at an event and I was talking to people who aren't like core gamers. It wasn't like a gaming event. It was something for a beauty brand. And they were talking about this Xbox news. And they're like, oh wow, like that's actually like, sorry, not this Xbox news. It was Halo on PlayStation.
Right. Okay.
And they were actually like, I haven't played like Xbox since I was a kid. Like my brother used to play, and like we would play Halo. And the fact that like Halo's on PlayStation, like it's so jarring. It's so weird. Like I don't even like, Xbox is done. And these are people that like don't really keep up with gaming, but they grew up in the time when Xbox was at its prime, right? And Halo was what people were talking about. Master Chief, right? In his prime.
Yeah.
And I think that's very telling to Aaron's point. Like that the average consumer, that they have like an Xbox. This person had an Xbox. They just haven't really touched it. And they bought it because they had an Xbox as a kid and they would play Halo with their brother. The fact that Halo was on PlayStation, they're like that, like they're done, and they're not keeping up with the rest of the gaming news. That's what they take away from that. Sure. So for them, PlayStation is the place to play. Like they're not going to invest in a PC. Also, like yes, price. Like when we talk about like those hybrid console, hybrid PC console, whatever that would look like when we do see that one from Valve, and if the price is good, the average consumer would still probably go for a console. Because I bet you anything, the user, like the overlay, like the hub, how user friendly it is, it will not be as user friendly as a console will be to someone that's looking to buy for a younger gamer or looking to buy for a family member that they know games, even if they don't know what is the console or machine they should be buying for that person. They're going to look to a PlayStation.
I agree with you, but like both in the fact that it's like the average consumer, it's going to take a while for any of this kind of stuff to basically to reach their kind of like market value. Like those they see they think a console, they think PlayStation, or they think Xbox right now. But I think like that's why I'm saying that Valve is kind of setting themselves up to be that fill in that hole, fill in that gap, because that Steam machine is designed to bring that PC experience to the living room TV, because Steam OS is probably one of the best like OSs for gaming that's out there right now. Everyone is wanting it to be able to include it on their own devices, with like at least for the handheld side of things. Like Steam OS is that console experience, but on a PC, and the fact that like you don't need to. Like if you download a game off of Steam, and then basically they're like, okay, well, we preset up a profile for the game to play properly on the Steam machine. That's good. Like that takes away a lot of that guessing work that PCs has always had, like the tweaking of the settings, making sure the graphics or whatever. So like, granted, yes, it's too early to tell 100%. Like the box isn't even out yet. We don't know what the price is of it yet. So I think you're right. It's going to be this. I'm thinking this is like a future down the road, like Valve can afford to do it. Like it's to be able to compete against
it's how they market it too, because it's like another thing with consumers, they like being told what to buy. Yeah. And it's like when you have a PlayStation and you have these bundles, Wolverine bundle. I keep seeing ads for Wolverine. This is like the biggest game around. You know, if they buy a Steam machine, and they don't know necessarily what the latest game is, because the catalog is so ginormous of what you could play on PC. It could muddy up what the communications are, like who the Steam machine is for as well.
But also, all Steam would need to do is just get a license and basically create a commercial that just says like, "Hey, Wolverine's on PC too, and playable on Steam as well." Like I agree.
The second they start doing that and competing with PlayStation for living room space, like the PlayStation's going to stop.
PlayStation's going to be like, Wolverine's not on a Steam machine.
Agreed, but it's like I said, it's like
when they want to market like that, you need PlayStation's you need the go ahead, and I don't think PlayStation's ever going to allow them that opportunity.
No,
like,
like I said, I
they don't even do that.
You.
Like, yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, because again, I'm trying to think of like how can we keep PlayStation, like keep the whole gaming industry successful and competitive.
That's the only
Xbox
thing
goes. That's the only thing that was competing against PlayStation as
the only thing that's limiting. The only thing that limits Valve is its potential to output on software and exclusives. Like they have none.
That's true.
Right? Whereas like Epic Games is off signing.
If they made it to 3 on any of their games, they have a couple more.
You know what? We have someone here who picked Half-Life 3 as their big.
I did.
So
I'm hoping
it's not even just that. I need Portal 3. I need Left 4 Dead 3. Like, what are we even doing here?
But they don't.
Goldmine is right there.
Studios to do it anymore
because they don't care to. They don't need to.
But like, I think they need to start because like they're going to need to bring people into that ecosystem to be competitive that way.
That's fair. That's fair.
At that level, Valve is pretty much the only company that is poised to do that.
Somebody's got to get Gabe off his yacht for just a day to be like, "Hey, man,
like tell us what to do."
Why don't we like mobilize some dudes to get working on a Portal 3 and Left 4 Dead 3 like right now? You know, like
bring Phil on to finish the project.
I am telling you, if in the next 10 years you've got this Steam machine and they're trying to continue to like make that part of this like new console market, and they were to say, you know, legitimately like a Portal 3 or a Left 4 Dead 3, and those are exclusive to the Steam machine or exclusive to Steam, obviously, and you can get it on the Steam machine, it would start making like some serious moves. I still do think at the end of the day, like PlayStation, even Xbox, although I don't know how much Xbox is going to be around in the hardware space, but PlayStation's being such a trusted brand that it's just going to be so hard. Like they have 90 million PS5 sold, over 140 for the PS4. That is such a massive,
and they're known for quality base too, right?
Like,
people buy in, so it's like it's a hard.
They really have to fail like multiple games, and be in a position of Xbox where it's like you guys haven't put out games in like 5 years.
For every Concord, you get Spider-Man 2, you get Ghost of Yote, you get Wolverine. You know, like you get all these incredible Ratchet and Clank, Death Stranding,
on and on
like
and on.
It just keeps going, right? So it's like maybe they've stumbled for a bit during this console generation, but look at the positives versus the negatives here. They're still such a trusted brand and they still have such a huge user base. It's going to be impossible to turn 90 million heads to a new console, you know?
Yeah. And Xbox never spent that time, developing those exclusive besides Halo. And then
and then Infinite just wasn't as big of a success as it should have been.
They had like different franchise, like Mario and Zelda were there for Nintendo, and like they had God of War and like Kratos and someone else for PlayStation, and then like Master Chief just showed up, was like, it's just me. Sorry, Xbox. Like, I'm only the one here to fight.
Gears,
what's so tough about that too is like
them and Gears, and they haven't like Gears, but it's too far in between.
Too far.
There hasn't been quite an experience like Halo 3 since Halo 3 for the Halo franchise. There hasn't been quite a Gears of War type experience since Gears of War 3. You know what I mean? Like they haven't been able to take these amazing franchises and really continue to push them forward into these next console generations, which has that was sort of the slow descent of Xbox as a brand and as a competitor. And now we are where we are here today.
You know what? I feel really like Riley. I'm just looking at Gears of War E-Day pick. Are you nervous?
No, that's definitely going to come out this year.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I honestly, I have high hopes. I have high hopes for E-Day. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
It's weird considering everything I just said.
I know you're like.
I mean, I'll say this. Like I'm nervous about Fable too. Like it's just like
performance-wise, I'm definitely nervous about Fable.
We got a good window there, and it's looking strong.
Sure. But it's like with everything that happened on Friday. I mean, everything's on
it's
the
all
table.
up.
I think Fable could actually be the one that kind of goes under the radar. Like critically, I think it could do well. But I
hope so.
People may not
big money.
People may not give the time to Fable as they
maybe.
Riley, what's going on for you for the rest of the week as we get ready for some treehouse action?
Oh, Pokemon Day, brother.
Yeah.
I am ready to play some Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Gotta catch them
I
all,
got a friend's
brother.
birthday. I gotta catch them all, brother.
I know what all that means. Yeah.
Did you not play Pokemon Fire Red or Leaf Green?
I did not grow up on Pokemon like at all.
You should be. You should be.
Same.
You know what you're doing this Friday, Caboose.
And Fire's the
Arc
only.
Raiders.
No.
I'm so excited though. Fire Red and Leaf Green are obviously the best versions of red and green, I guess, blue in the States.
Yeah,
but
it's only red. It's only red and green. Just
red and green. And green sucks. No,
exactly.
but I'm excited to play that. I've been jonesing for a classic Pokemon game, so I'm like, just bring it on. Like that's all I want.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to a friend's birthday later that evening, and
you're gonna be
playing Pokemon.
Or like leave me
trading or trading.
Happy birthday or whatever. Yeah,
happy birthday, whatever. Anyone
I
playing
evolved my
Pokemon
Charmeleon.
Right
I don't know why you're talking to me. Yeah, so that's
he's about to evolve.
Yeah. Caboose, how about yourself?
I think the Marathon Server Slam is this upcoming weekend, right?
Tomorrow, I
think.
Well, today when this comes out. So
is it today? Oh, damn.
20. One of these days.
Oh, when this comes out, that's right. Yeah, I was like today. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping into that. And then I'm excited that we got the Wolverine release date. I'm hoping that we're gonna get some more news really soon. The spring is right around the corner. So please, Insomniac, don't make us wait very long.
I feel so bad for you. You have literally 5 seconds of content to stretch out onto the next announcement.
Oh, I can do it.
All these videos are going to be like, all right, if you haven't heard,
do it. It's
Insomniac made a huge announcement, and he's not going to tell us what the announcement is. Tell the last.
You underestimate what I can do
in this 5-second trailer.
But yeah,
before I talk about that announcement, let me talk about what Insomniac already revealed over the last few years.
Yeah. For those who just want to catch up, here's what happened.
You gotta catch. Hey, there's always a new viewer. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting some more info for Wolverine. I'm hoping that it's going to be starting next month, considering the game comes out in 7 months from now. That's not that far away. But other than that, I'm still playing some Arc Raiders. I'm still just having fun, checking out a bunch of different games. I've been trying to jump into Sons of Sparta. I haven't loved it, honestly. I'm not the biggest fan of what they did with it. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Just playing some games and enjoying, praying for the weather to get a little warmer, please.
Steve?
I'm excited for Resident Evil Rec Room coming out this week. I want to play that. Actually, I would love to be able to play Fire Red. I think I'll probably do that. It's kind of what I've been wanting for a long while, and I'm excited to see what Pokemon's going to announce. Whether are we going to see a Gen 10? I don't know. We'll see.
Fingers crossed, because that was my mystery pick. I was calling for the.
There you go. Mine, so hopefully it comes out this year. So we'll. I'm excited for that. And right now I'm just playing a few games here and there. I'm actually I've been really playing Seance at Blake Manor lately. That's a good detective game. That's a good mystery game. It takes a little bit to kind of get into it, but about an hour in, it's like, yeah, okay. I'm locked in. So I think I'm like 12, 13 hours now in at this point. Definitely worth checking that. That's basically what I've been playing, and then I've been playing Blueprints. I think I'm kind of in that my mystery detective era. I've just really been enjoying those kind of games lately.
Someone get it in a trench coat and a hat.
I know. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Make me look like Spider-Man Noir. I know what I'm going to be for Halloween this year.
Camille, what's going on with you?
Well, I attended a World of Warcraft event. Haven't really been in the World of Warcraft scene, but it was actually really cool. So I'll be having a video come out about that. And then, I'm just trying to find something short to play in between of me crying over Punch and checking in over that he's doing good at the zoo.
I saw he had a guardian now. Is he okay? Is he doing better?
He does. He has a bodyguard, and the bodyguard gives him hugs, but every day is a struggle for Punch, so the journey continues. But I'm looking for something small, like a game. If you guys have any suggestions, short game that I could finish before Poketoke. Oh my god.
Oh, Persona 5.
Oh my god. Pokemon? Pokopia. That's what I was trying to say.
I'd say Karen.
I say Pokemon Fire Red.
That also
fire
that up. That's a good show.
Yeah, I will be doing that. But that's all I am doing. And thinking of playing Resident Evil Requiem, but I'm kind of scared. So I have to see who I could play it with.
Nah, you'd be fine. I'm
No, I
super
really
excited
will
for the
not.
game.
I really will not.
I wish I could just do the Leon parts.
Yeah, right.
Just good action hero type of vibe and less like
Oh my
creepy
God.
and
Creepy, 'cause-
scary.
yeah.
You know,
You guys don't deserve Resident Evil with that type of attitude. What the hell? Oh, I
I deserve Leon and only Leon.
Parts. Oh, that's
Leon
ridiculous.
is reserved for Riley and Riley.
the
only.
Leon cut. Get out of
I
here.
want Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield punching a boulder into a volcano vibe.
Give
That's
that
what I
to
want.
me now.
They refuse to give it to us. They refuse.
It will
I want
come by in
Cody a
2029.
chainsaw with a knife and roundhouse kick zombies. That's what I want. That's the vibe of my Resident
That's the only
Evil.
way to kill zombies, actually. By
It's the only way I know how to kill
way.
zombies.
I'm gonna do this. Goodbye, everyone. I don't know what to say. See you next episode, everyone. Take care.
Bye.